dream, I was in this outdoor pavilion thing, and have any of you guys ever been to Cornerstone, Florida? It's the closest thing to anything in reality that I can compare this place to. It's really of no consequence whether you can visualize it or not, but it just happened to be close to the part where the merch is set up at Cornerstone, Florida. That doesn't really matter. But there's sort of there is a walkway on either side, and down the middle there were this endless line of Steinway grand pianos, and they were suspended from hooks. And there was nothing attaching them to the hooks. They were just kind of hanging by if you can picture a grand piano, they have sort of three legs, and it was hanging by like the front leg. And in the dream, I had this sense of urgency that I had to get somewhere really fast. And there were people walking in the direction that I needed to go on the path on either side to where these grand pianos were suspended. But for some reason, I foolishly thought that the fastest way to get wherever I was going would be to climb on these grand pianos. And so I start scrambling up them, and as soon as I get to the top of one, it starts to, pivot back and forth, and they started falling, and I would have to jump from one piano to the other. But of course, when I landed on the next one, it would start to fall as well. And so there were these huge, $20,000 grand pianos smashing into the ground, and it was making this huge noise, and everyone was looking at me and pointing. And I remember feeling very embarrassed in the dream, but I couldn't just swallow my pride and get down off of the pianos and say, okay, I'm gonna walk like everybody else. I just kept scrambling, and I remember there was a girl and her mother pointing at me, and I just felt so stupid, and I just kind of smiled nervously like it was part of my plan, and I just kept going on and trying to act like it was no big deal. And in the days since I've had that dream, God has taught me a lot about what it means in my life in particular, and maybe in some of your lives too. But I have this overwhelming sense that I need to control things, and that I need to make sure that you guys see me in a certain light, and make sure that Cool Hand Luke is seen as a good band, and as these Christian dudes that read good books and know lots of things, and that I sound really smart and theological, and that I have it all together. And the fact is, I'm weak and I'm broken and I'm hurting, and I have completely no control over my life or anything that happens in my life. But I know that there's freedom in the gospel. There's freedom in the sense that Jesus died for me, and I'm free from all these things that I'm chained to, and my standard doesn't have to be the American society or the media or you guys. I have no standard other than Christ, and I can't live a perfect life, and He knows that, and He died for me. But still, I find myself scrambling to read a certain amount of scripture and pray a certain amount of prayers and know a certain amount of things and say a certain amount of big words from the stage, so that you guys will think that I'm a good person, and so that I can somehow maybe pay God back for all the great things that He's done for me. And the deal is, that's all rubbish, and it doesn't matter, because God doesn't need anything that I have, because He gave me everything that I have. And that could be frustrating and bleak, but the truth is, that's awesome, and that's the good news of the gospel, that we don't have to be chained by what we feel like we have to control. And so that's the basis of this song, and I know that's a long introduction to a song, but I feel like what these songs are about are more important than the songs themselves. And I know because it's a new song that you might not be able to understand what I'm saying, and so I want you to know that that's what this is about. So, yeah, this song is called The Balancing Act.